There's been a lot of controversy surrounding Angel Studios' Animal Farm. We had Tim Pool going out and blasting it and saying he was refusing to take advertising for the film. A lot of conservative commentators have jumped on the bandwagon claiming it's not anti-communist any longer, and Angel Studios replied by saying yes, it is. So what is the truth here? Well, I got an advanced screener from Angel Studios, so I was able to actually review this before it actually hits theaters, so I can tell you what to expect and for what to expect for your families and children's, because this is a children's movie tonally, and that's what it was set to be. It's definitely something that it's cute animals, and they really filtered out a lot of the gruesome stuff out of it, even though they looked like they were going to go there at points. I was holding my breath, just like hoping my 1.5-year-old wouldn't walk through, who was not going to be sitting watching this because she doesn't sit, and seeing anything horrific as I'm trying to review the screener. Turns out it never happened. There was nothing like remotely in it. And that tonal element is what's causing a lot of the critics to react viscerally against this, because Animal Farm is an adult book at the end of the day. So let's get into my review, which I wrote this morning on Fandom Pulse, which is my pop culture news website. I'm a sci-fi and fantasy writer myself, so if you like my thoughts on culture, sign up for my newsletter. I give you 3 books for signing up. We have some awesome sci-fi that is like the golden age that nobody else writes anymore. We are back to heroism. We're back to real values, and we're back to great storytelling. That's something that's missing in today's culture, so I want you to check it out. You get a sci-fi book, a fantasy book, and a full superhero graphic novel. It is the best deal on the internet. Sign up in the description below, and thanks for being here. Let's get into this review, my friends. So, Animal Farm. Most reviewers are treating Angel Studios' animated Animal Farm like someone kicked their dog. The outrage is loud and largely unearned. The movie is worth seeing. The film updates George Orwell's 1945 novella from a Soviet-era allegory to a contemporary one. The pigs seize power. The revolution still devours itself. The slogan, "All animals are equal," still becomes a punchline by the second act. What changes is that outside force is doing the manipulating. Instead of human farmers negotiating with Napoleon behind closed doors, the film introduces Frida Pilkington, a corporate executive in a power suit who swoops in with capital, smiles, and a plan to turn the animals into a handmade watermill and profit-generating hydroelectric dam. Now, people are comparing her to Elon Musk immediately, and I'm looking at this going, she's using a green new scam, right? She acts like George Soros, and she's like this, angry old lesbian looking lady, like she's Kathleen Kennedy in Star Wars. Like, she is not meant to be a right-wing, just good businessman figure that's being changed. It is intentionally a female figure who's manipulating things, and I think it's pretty poignant where it's at. So some critics have called this anti-capitalist. Angel Studios, though, says it's anti-communist. Both readings really miss the structure of what this is. The farm is communist from the start. The communists, convinced of their own righteousness, get played by an outside party with money and ambition, Soros, again. Pilkington doesn't conquer the farm by force. She buys access to Napoleon, flatters his ego, and runs the animals into debt. This is exactly what you can see in the Democratic Party structure exactly, right? This is the Obama playbook. The farm's own ideology makes it vulnerable. That's a sharper observation about how ideological capture works than most reviewers gave it credit for. It's a very poignant as a message and definitely rooted in current reality of our world for the Soros-style manipulation of third world countries, and our country at that. The villain herself is pure Cruella de Vil, down to the theatrical wardrobe. Glenn Close plays her with relish, and the film knows exactly what kind of movie it is when she's on the screen. Now, this is interesting. Mr. Whymper, the go-between character from the original novella, gets reimagined here as a fidgety Jewish banker type, all nervous with compound interest. When one sees how he's used as a vehicle to dupe the animals into debt and manipulate them with currency they don't understand, it's another very poignant message. I'm surprised all these right-wing influencers are pretending is somehow a negative thing, right? It's very, very close to reality. The animation is clean and competent. Anyone who saw Angel's David will recognize their house style. David, I think, was a much stronger film, but this one holds up alongside it visually. The voice work is solid across the board. The standout is a subtle romance subplot between the two pigs. Lucky realizes that Napoleon's been manipulating him. It shouldn't work as wholesome moments showing forgiveness and love in a movie with fart jokes, which that's what a lot of people are focusing on too. At the very beginning, there's a lot of fart jokes and a lot of kiddie moments that do make this a kiddie movie, right? And they've taken what is a very adult theme that's a very dark theme and turned it into a kiddie movie, and that's where the tone differential between the two is getting people, I think. It's definitely something outside the book, but the tender moment with Lucky rubbing noses with the pig he truly loves is a cute one. The core message of Orwell does survive the translation. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. The revolution becomes tyranny. Truth gets rewritten until the rewriting is the only history anyone remembers. That's all still here. What's gone is the bleak ending. Orwell closes with animals staring through a window, unable to tell the pigs from men. Angel Studios closes with something more hopeful. That's a deliberate choice, and it cost the film a lot of its bite. They want this to be a kids' movie and a warning about authoritarianism at the same time. Those two goals pull against each other. The fart jokes, the horror of Boxer being sold to Knacker doesn't really coexist well. The film navigates around the darkest corners of the book, and you feel that absence in this, which is what most critics are reacting to. A Soviet allegory in 1945 was for adults who had seen what happened when the pigs took over. A family-friendly animated feature in 2026 has different obligations, and the film chose its audience, which is more a kids' film. That is a legitimate creative choice. It's also the reason it lands as a good rather than great movie, I think. Those who are trying to attack Angel Studios over this, though, are barking up the wrong tree. The Angel Studios did a fine job. The ideological criticism from mainstream reviewers amounts to, this doesn't say what we wanted it to say. The actual criticism is a little gentler. The film tries to ride two horses, and the funniest and the most pointed moments belong to the same movie that pulls punches at the finish. Kids will definitely enjoy it. Adults who know the book will recognize what got left on the floor. But if you just view it for what it is and don't view it as like this needs to be the book, then you are going to be in for a movie that's just fine. I call it a 7 out of 10. It's not bad. It's definitely worth taking your kids to. I wouldn't see it as an adult by yourself. It really doesn't hold up like that. And, that's what Angel Studios, I think, was going for in this. And so if that's what they're going for, that's what it's going to be. Now, is this going to perform well? Probably not. Like I said, the two things tug against each other. I can't see a lot of kids going to their parents and going, gosh, I want to go see this, right? And a lot of parents will just be like, I read this book and I remember it being pretty dark and you're 5 years old. I don't know about that. So I do think there's going to be that sort of issue with the target audience as far as that goes. But again, there was nothing like even horrific in it, nothing like, close your eyes in it. This was like on the level of like, late 80s Disney movies in terms of like where it went with things. And so like pretty much any kid can just sit there and watch it and actually just enjoy the cute animals, even if they don't understand what's going on. And that is something that, is a current year film. So, I think the outrage is a lot overdone on this. And I think that people just really overreacted because like it's not so very clearly Soviet in the way it is. But the animals are communists. They mention that they're sharing everything the entire time. And the people taking advantage of that communism are the ones who are stealing in that whole situation, which is why it doesn't work because, not everybody's going to play by those rules and not everybody's going to just go for that. And it just breaks down every single time. That's still in the movie, but there is a lot more to it. And there's a lot of modern stuff that unlike the modern audience stuff that they usually go to, actually does hit on some things that we should think about and actually should, be wary of within our culture as well. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Check out my newsletter in the description below if you like my thoughts on writing. I have great books for you. Let's move back, and I'll see you Monday.